We're speeding into the fast lane with Globe's 5G technology. It's fast, it's fun, it's wonderful. It's Kim Son-ho approved. With Globe 5G technology, the possibilities are endless. It's about time we inspire the youth to create something meaningful, spark reinventions, and improve the framework of the future. That's what the 5G Hackathon is about. Students, professionals, and startups are welcome to join the event by registering using this link. Once accepted, you may enjoy access to the Globe 5G Hackathon HQ, where the enablement workshops will happen. That's 2 weeks worth of fun workshops and mentorship by industry experts from our tech partners. All these to get you to the top. That doesn't end there. Apply what you've learned from the workshops and pitch your idea on how you can use 5G to improve the way we live. The panel will pick the top 30 semi-finalists to join the pitch competition and enjoy exclusive workshops and consultations with mentors. But if you're truly, madly, deeply at the top of your game, you can be chosen as part of the top 10 finalists who will proceed to the Hackathon Finals. 3 of the best pitches will be hailed as winners. What's in it for you? Well, over 500,000 pesos worth of prizes will be given away, plus a chance to be part of the Venture Builders program of 917's Venture Velocity and work directly with Globe 5G Acceleration Lab. This is powered by Globe and Animal Labs by DLSU. Thanks to 5G, we're about to achieve great heights. Click the link and show us what you've got. Get ready to reinvent your power to create change. Register now.
Do you want to make a difference and reinvent your world? 네, 안녕하세요. 여러분, 김선호입니다. 샌드박스 같은 곳에서 경쟁하는 기분을 느껴보고 싶으신가요? 그렇다면 글로브 5G 해카톤에서 진행하는 워크숍과 멘토십을 통해 5G 활용 방법을 만들어보고 여러분의 친구, 동료들과 팀을 만들어서 디지털 시대 속 필리핀의 새롭고 흥미로운 가능성을 열어보세요. Follow your dream. Register now.
Every time the world spins round, reinvent 360. Thinking you gon' miss a good thing, show the whole world. Reinvent, nobody to know stand. It's your reinvent. 1, 2, 3, ready to try. Why don't you watch me do my thing?
Take it to the next level with Globe's fiber, LTE Advanced, and 5G mobile connection. Now you have the power to reinvent your world. Globe.
The new mind-blowing Surfer 99?
9 gig? All sites?
For all devices?
Shareable with up to 4 people?
Like my family? Anywhere they are?
The new mind-blowing Surfer All 99.
Dear Mother, Light of the Home.
Dad?
Hey, baby!
Greetings, Professor Rodolfo.
May I be absolved from
Math Club tomorrow.
May Globe Virtual Hangouts kasi.
Go and hang out from wherever you are. Just open the Globe One app, choose an event, and click join.
Watch concerts online!
Woo! Dance together!
We can do quiz dance.
Yo, let's go! If
If you allow me, I promise.
To make it up to you.
And repay your kindness tenfold? Truly, your favorite child.
I love you, Dad.
Please, babe. Thank you, sir.
Enjoy your fave events with Globe Prepaid Virtual Hangouts. All together now.
Yes!
Get it?
Intel, we've made it our mission to empower our customers and partners to take full advantage of the limitless possibilities of the data-centric world. In that world, one area of innovation that represents exciting opportunities for business transformation is 5G. And Intel is uniquely positioned to power the full range of technologies needed to make 5G a reality. So much more than simply the next G, 5G is a revolutionary, sea-change moment in technology and business. One that carries with it the opportunity to leap beyond the limitations of 4G communication to create an entirely new ecosystem of connectivity where data is moved, stored, and processed from the device to the edge to the cloud in near real time. We're building new foundations of intelligent networking that will connect tens of billions of devices, humans, and AI, paving the way into our connected and immersive future. And 5G networks are being built now, from the network edge to the data center. From scalable IoT technologies to network transformation, wireless connectivity, and AI, we're creating the technology that will show the world anything is possible. At Intel, we push possible forward.
Hello, good morning. Hi, my name is Patricia Lee and I'm the Enterprise Lead in Intel Philippines. Today, our team will cover Intel's background, 5G and IoT, our strategy, and how we intend to help the ecosystem. For starters, I'll be covering the introduction of Intel and our focus, 5G and our 5G vision. When you think of Intel, you probably think of the silicon chips resting inside your PC. That's not wrong. And as we often say, Intel put the silicon in Silicon Valley. But we're more than just a CPU maker now. For more than 50 years, Intel has created and engineered solutions that pushes the boundaries of technology, and we're an industry leader and trusted brand partner of choice. Today, our purpose is to create world-changing technology that enriches the lives of every person on Earth. In partnership with our customers, We advance breakthrough technologies and solutions in a variety of segments, from safe roads and autonomous driving to medical advancements powered by AI and machine learning to technology readiness in education and more. Intel is the only company with the depth and breadth of software, silicon and platforms, packaging and process with at-scale manufacturing that customers can depend for their next-generation innovations. Just to give you a quick glimpse of our company, but don't worry, I won't go through every single detail here. I would just like to highlight a few key points. We're actually a 77 billion company that produces 10 billion transistors every second. We're supported by over 100,000 employees in 46 countries. As we look ahead for the next decade, our ambition and opportunities have never been greater to unleash the power of data. We strive to create a more responsible, inclusive, and sustainable future enabled through our technology and expertise and passion of our employees. As we transform beyond a PC-centric company to address the needs of the new data-centric world, we have expanded our product offerings to provide an end-to-end solution, scaling from edge computing to 5G networks, cloud, emerging fields of AI, and autonomous driving. More importantly, we believe in investing and co-innovating with partners and independent industry organizations. For more investments, we have actually built Intel Network Builders Program. It offers programs, content, and resources dedicated to helping ecosystem partners leverage the service-enabling capabilities of Intel products. We evaluate solutions against industry standard benchmarks and improve the system performance and functionality. Today, we actually have more than 360 members, and we have supported over 100 POCs or trials leveraging on Intel technology. So let's talk about our focus. Data use is evolving as everything around us increasingly looks like a computer. The generated data of all those processors and connections has become the source for a new generation of discovery. From explosive data growth to cloud and real-time access to data, we believe that this is actually a tremendous market opportunity for us. With this, we focus our efforts on four key areas. Our CEO calls them four superpowers. That's cloud, connectivity fueled by 5G, artificial intelligence, and intelligent edge. These four superpowers are driving the rapid digital transformation of nearly every part of our lives. So let's jump straight away to 5G. We're actually focused on unleashing the power of data across the cloud, the network, and the edge to open up a world of opportunities for our customers and partners. 5G is foundational part of that world. And we believe that Intel is actually foundational to 5G. So our 5G vision, imagine if compute is everywhere. It actually provides springboard to a range of new enhanced services. It changes the way we connect and it transforms our cities and industries while driving disruption and creating opportunities around the globe. Remember this, 4G enabled the mobile app economy and 5G will enable a whole new wave of innovation and business transformation on a much larger scale. In fact, transformed 5G networks are forming the infrastructure for a fully connected mobile and intelligent society today. Technologies at play right now are incomparable to the technologies that have come before. We have seen technologies change industries and consider the sharing or app economies that gave rise to business unicorns like Airbnb and Uber. They were powered by smaller technology paradigm shifts and fueled by 4G. 5G is just about to do the same. In fact, it's estimated that by 2035, the 5G industry value chain will be worth $2.5 trillion. And while it's impressive, it's nothing compared to the global economic output that 5G will create across industries, including perhaps the Philippines. By 2035, the multiplier effect of 5G will produce probably around $13 trillion of revenue. So what are the trends driving the need for 5G? First is is the Internet of Things, or IoT. This enormous network of connected machines is transforming how we monitor, manage, and produce things. It's generating a massive amount of data. In fact, IDC predicts that the IoT devices will generate more than half of the world's data by 2025. Second, video is huge. Video creation, as well as consumption and sharing, is actually gonna contribute more and more. Video streaming will soon account for more than 80% of internet traffic. Lastly, one of the biggest game changers for 5G is the ultra low latency it will provide, which will allow machine to machine communications. 5G mobile networks will be able to deliver ultra low latency, almost word-like, connection that opens up a whole new ballgame in terms of usage. You probably heard that 5G is different from previous wireless generation. Why? Well, because 5G marks the moment when two powerful technology trends come together: computing and communications. The first trend is the evolution in computing from personal computers to dawn internet to the mobile and cloud computing today. The second evolution across wireless generation is that 5G gave us the analog phone, 2G moved us from analog to digital voice, 3G gave us data connectivity and mobile applications, and then 4G has given us an ever increasing mobile baudit speeds. Well, as you can see here, computing intersects with wireless as we enter the 5G era. It's because 5G is the convergence of computing and communications. With 5G, the cloud, the network, and edge all become a hyper-converged network that operates in a single entity of computing where data, intelligence, and services are distributed dynamically. 5G is the first wireless technology that was defined for other use cases that can now go untethered and wireless. These use cases are being enabled by 5G's ultra-fast speed, ultra-low latency, and massive capacity. Just remember, 5G is actually delivering three key features. First is enhanced mobile broadband. Second is ultra-reliable low-latency communications. Third is massive machine type communications. Allow me to expand a bit on these three key features. First is the enhanced mobile broadband that enables bandwidth-driven use cases. These are the use cases that needs high data rates across mobile and wide coverage area. Think of compute-intensive media applications like video analytics, real-time immersive 3D video, and always connected laptops. The second one is ultra-reliable low-latency communications, which facilitates mission-critical applications like time-sensitive factory automation and hinting about Industry 4.0. Massive machine-type communications connect massive amounts of devices that transmits intermittently, such as with Internet of Things or IoT devices, which is common in smart cities and wearables. 5G will enable and drive the massive adoption of new use cases, technologies, but many of these use cases can be started on 4G and evolve later with 5G. So here's a sample reference customer. So Audi is actually a partner of Intel, and they use Intel-based edge analytics and machine learning to automate, enhance critical quality control processes in its factory to increase the efficiency and reduce costs. So for example, at one of Audi's sites, they assemble 1,000 vehicles each day with 5,000 welds in each vehicle. So imagine 5,000 welds multiplied by 1,000 vehicles in a day. So that's about 5 million welds that needs to be inspected each day. So given that magnitude, the inspections are costly, labor-intensive, and leave them many unanswered questions on quality control. Today, Audi, together with its partners, develop a predictive quality control solution that improves the quality control processes for the well-Chinese vehicles and eliminates the need to perform manual inspections. As a result, Audi simultaneously cut labor costs by 30 to 50% and boosted weld inspections by over 100 times. With 18 millisecond latency using a repeatable Intel-based platform, it can now actually intend to other automation. So, let me show you the video of Audi.
We take new technologies and figure out, will they help us in revolutionizing our production, becoming more efficient, becoming better in what we're doing, building cars?
Through our work with partners like Audi, we've learned the value of the capabilities that we've had for years in the IT space to bring those into this operating technology world. The ability to virtualize workloads and move them where they need to happen.
Our joint spot weld case together with Intel was a great first start. Intel helped us in looking into the data, identifying how to get access to the data, how to label the data, and which kind of data we would need.
What we've learned is there is a need for increased levels of edge compute to analyze at the site where the flow of production is happening in order to take action there. Intel has worked with partners and customers to help solve those challenges close to where goods are produced.
How can we get our production lines running at higher efficiencies than we have them running today? We have to look and think out of the box in order to take these steps towards the future. This is the value we want to tap with this entire infrastructure we have been setting up with Intel.
So, 5G is changing the paradigm of computing. Computer is no longer being siloed in central data centers. Instead, computing and intelligence are being distributed across reimagined networks. I hope that this brief introduction gave you a snapshot of how 5G can be a catalyst of the future, and with our heritage as a leader in computing, I hope that we've given you an idea on how we're transforming 5G networks and becoming part of the fabric in the same way that we were the backbone of the data center. Later on, my colleagues will cover more in-depth features, 5G use cases, and how we're enabling our partner ecosystem. Allow me to end my presentation with a quote from one of our founders. Don't be encumbered by history. Go off and do something wonderful. Once again, thank you very much. My name is Patricia Lee, and I'm from Intel Philippines. Have a great day.
What brings our new processor performance to life and helps you achieve the right TCO is when you pair it with our suite of platform ingredients. Let's take a virtual tour of the network to see how our new processors deliver more performance, lower latency, and improved security to tackle your most important workloads. To start, we'll zoom into the 5G network core and see how Intel's performance and security is leading the way. What you're looking at here is the 5G data path, also known as the UPF, running on 2nd and 3rd gen Xeon scalable systems. We're seeing incredible throughput of more than 450 gigabits per second from the 3rd gen server, which is more than a 40% increase over the previous generation of Xeon. Security is also an important consideration. With Intel software guard extensions integrated into the 3rd generation Xeon processors, it is possible to secure the channel setup and communication between the 5G control functions. Now let's move into an edge data center. With rapidly growing amounts of real-time video, there's an increased need for memory on CDN cache nodes. To show how we're addressing this, we'll show you a current system with our prior generation Xeon processor and Intel Optane persistent memory compared with our newest processor and updated memory. The Intel technologies work together in this CDN example to increase throughput by up to 1.6x and 33% more memory capacity. This means that CDN providers can either serve the same number of subscribers at a higher resolution or be able to stream to more subscribers at the same resolutions. And developers utilize OpenVisual Cloud software to further increase performance, for components of the CDN pipeline. For our third stop, we're going to move into the 5G radio access network to see how our newest Xeon Scalable processor supports the gold standard for 5G vRAN massive MIMO. vRAN is taken off, and to our knowledge, all early vRAN deployments are running on Intel architecture. Here's an example of vRAN running on our second generation Xeon. Now let's bring in the third generation Xeon Scalable processor and look at how that stacks up. This upgraded system is running the same massive MIMO workload as the second generation system, but with increased performance. With this type of performance, you could nearly double the massive MIMO throughput in a similar power envelope to support a 3x100 MHz 64T 64R configuration, which is considered the best-in-class implementation.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's session. My name is Jim Brismitzis, and I'm fortunate enough to have my colleague Dirk Schau from Tactile. Dirk, do you want to say a quick hello?
Quick hello. Thanks, Jim.
Excellent. Hey, everyone, we wanted to talk about the art of the possible with 5G and software. As I said, my name is Jim Brismitzis. I'm the co-founder of the 5G Open Innovation Lab here in Seattle, Washington. Dirk also from the Seattle area here in Washington. And we wanted to show you what we believe is possible when you bring together connectivity and computing on the edge. And so with that, let's go ahead and jump right in. First of all, welcome to the hackathon. I'm sure you're all very excited about the sessions and workshops you get to hear from, as well as the projects you get to engage on as well. And we're kind of bummed that we're not able to be there with you in person, but we'll be watching from afar. Now, when we think of 5G, we think of 5G really being a cloud environment. You see, when carriers are moving from 4G to 5G, they're essentially moving away from monolithic systems that they operate as their telco platform to a platform built on cloud principles. And there's some really exciting new feature sets that are to come in this world. Features like network slicing and carrier aggregation and dynamic spectrum sharing and beamforming. Those are all applications running as microservices using Kubernetes variants as a way to orchestrate those apps. Well, we look at that and say, wow, for the first time in a long time, a carrier could really start to build a relationship with a software ecosystem. Software companies just like Dirk's from Tactile. And we've had the fortune of working with folks like Dirk and other startups as well via our program. A program that's really designed to explore this opportunity of building connected experiences with the ability to run that software nearby. And 5G is really the first time in standards where we see this transition again from monolithic platforms to more cloud-oriented computing. And you'll be hearing a lot about this from the other workshops and sessions today. But in this move to computing on the far edge, then the question becomes, well, who are really the biggest benefactors? And there's a good debate about who the biggest benefactors are in the 5G world. We tend to think that probably the biggest benefactors are the enterprise. In fact, if you look at the digital transformation journeys that many enterprises are embarking on today, there's a few things to really spot and highlight there. One is that there are a number of industries that are really doubling down on their use of data for their digital transformation journeys. This chart on the far left really focuses on a number of those industries that are pushing forward in that transformation. Industries like automotive and manufacturing and logistics and transportation. For them to be digital, they really have to increase their demand on data or usage of data and use machines to really help them be predictive and move forward in that journey. We also saw here in the United States that last year, the FCC announced and went through with an auction for what's called CBRS spectrum, a public band of spectrum that has now been opened up for private use. And in that, there was about $4.2 billion worth of spectrum sold in that auction. We did a quick surveying of those who actually won some of those auctions. And what we were pleasantly surprised to see is that there's a number of institutions that are not typical for bidding on spectrum. Institutions like universities, but also institutions like power generation and private enterprises like John Deere and Chevron as examples. Now, the reason why they're bidding on the spectrum is because there's this other opportunity that's really opening up in the 5G world, and that's called private enterprise networking. And these are institutions who are bidding on their own spectrum in locations for which they're operating either their own campuses or manufacturing facilities as they start evaluating the use of 5G over, let's say, Wi-Fi for wireless connectivity. Now, earlier this year, the GSMA did some research of their own, and they went and asked the CEOs of prevailing telecommunication players around the world, what are their top priorities and who do they believe that are going to be the biggest areas of growth for their business. And as you can see from this top, enterprise is going to be that area. So when we think about the transformation capabilities of 5G, it's one thing to say that the world will be a much better connected world, which is true. There's another thing to say that in the connected journey, we're going to see a lot of new data being collected by users and IoT sensors and connected cars and augmented reality headsets, of which a lot of that data is going to need to be processed nearby. So 5G is really a journey about connectivity and about the edge, with the biggest benefactors really being the enterprises. And we're still early in this journey, but over the next 10 to 15 years, we really do see that this world is going to play out in a really interesting way. You guys are here at the right time. Now, as we started looking at opportunities in play, there was really 5 areas that we saw as really transformative. One was around digital transformation, as I explained earlier. The second was around private networking. Private networking being a space that a lot of enterprises, both medium size, large size, and even some small sizes, are considering the use of their own private cellular networks. Now, one area that I think is transformative and that we have seen actually accelerate is around automation. And the acceleration of that came as by way of the international pandemic we know as COVID-19. As companies were not able to enter their manufacturing facilities or just their facilities in general, they had to increase their dependency on automation so that they could build resiliency into their market, into their businesses. And that new influx of investments around building resiliency into their operations, according to IDC, it's about $2.3 trillion of market opportunity. That's on top of Gartner's $3.4 trillion of annual IT spend that enterprise spend every year. So we looked at automation and say, wow, there's this whole new world of opportunity where companies are really investing in automating a lot of their business functions. Another area that I think is quite exciting, and one that I invited Dirk to be part of today, is around immersive experiences. Now, I'm not an AR or VR expert, Dirk is, and he'll share with you some of the great things that Tactile has been doing with their platform called Manifest. But one area that I've been seeing from afar is that more and more enterprises are turning to augmented reality experiences to help their workers, whether it's on the front line or in the design of products, and that the augmented and the virtual reality experiences that we've seen as pretty cool technology from 5 years ago is becoming more and more mainstream today. And I'm going to save the thunder for Dirk to talk a little bit about where that's heading. Now, according to the GSMA, by 2025, there'll be over 25 billion IoT connected devices to networks around the world. And I look at that and I say, well, there's 25 billion threat vectors that are going to exist that don't exist today. Security is a non-negotiable in the 5G world. And if anything, the security threat vector gets widened, not narrowed. Now, we've all seen what's happened with security breaches in the past. Then in a 5G connected world, the focus on security and its importance is heightened more so than ever. And it's an area that we feel quite excited about, and one that we're starting to see some real strong new innovation coming out from startups. Now, the last area, and one of the areas that we are really excited about, is this unknown use cases. This world where really smart people spotting really difficult challenges see the combined platform of computing and connectivity really being transformative. A world where new business ideas and new categories of markets are going to emerge. Now, let's say we look back 5 to 10 years ago, and I came to you and said, hey, wouldn't it be great if you opened up your home to complete strangers and rented rooms out? Or even better yet, you get calls from complete strangers and have them ask you for rides to someplace. You may have thought I was crazy, but those were the early days of Airbnb and Uber. And we look at those two markets as new categories of possibilities that will be made possible by this new platform that's emerging in the 5G world. All of that, of course, being made possible by the use of software. See, software is a transformative force. It's code, it's instructions written that computers execute on. And in the 5G world, the playground has just gotten so much bigger because the world is so much bigger. And we're super excited about where that's going. Now, there's a number of use cases in action. You're going to hear from Dirk today and actually see a video of Manifest and Tactile in action. But we've also had a number of our other companies like Expedo from our first batch, the same batch that Dirk was part of, in their cooperation with Portland General Electric. They're looking at and evaluating the build out of a private network for connecting a number of the sensors and IoT gateways and other IoT devices on Portland General Electric's grid. It's important to their modernization efforts. It's also important to combating forest fires and to ensuring that the health of the grid maintains optimal at all times. Shifting demands for electricity for Portland General Electric means that they're having to shift their dependence on data for a more automated system. On the Symmetric side, which is a company from our current batch, Symmetric is unlocking IoT potential by enabling customers to have greater insight into their IoT sensors and, more importantly, their cost. So we have some examples of some great use cases that are already in play, very much focused on where the enterprise is going, and again, very much taking advantage of this native connectivity with computing on the edge. And of course, there is Dirk from Tactile, and again, I don't want to steal some of his thunder, so I'll let him cover some of that. Now, with that, we've had the privilege since the launching of the lab to work with over 37 companies from across, 47 companies from across 3 batches. The first 2 batches we ran in May of last year in September, and this current batch we launched in March. Our 4th batch will actually start in September of this year. And what's been great about this journey is, and because of our program, is that we get a chance to work with companies of really all stages, companies that are a little early in their journey and really perfecting their technology and just starting to make some impact in the market, to companies like Dirk's that have been in market for a while and creating some substantial impact and also in generating some really interesting funding as well. And so for those of you that are aspiring to take your companies to that next level, we'd love to hear from you. When these technologies that you're hacking on today get some traction and you see an opportunity for us to help you connect that into the world, please think of us in your journey. And now with that, I'd like to take a quick pause and turn over to my co-presenter, Dirk Schau, who's going to tell us a little bit about Tactile and the platform called Manifest. And so with that, Dirk, I'd like to thank you very much for agreeing to share this stage with me and to talk a little bit about Tactile.
Well, thank you, Jim. Jim did a great job, I think, of outlining sort of the evolution of LTE to 5G and all that sort of thing. And really the way that we look at this is LTE and 4G, everything that existed before 5G was about enabling consumer devices. 5G is about enabling industrial and enterprise devices. Obviously, consumer phones are going to come and they're going to join that as well. But just as Jim indicated, there are amazing different use cases that you're going to find with 5G when you have a better understanding and confidence in security and in connectivity and the ability to shape your data. I'll also just give Jim a real quick plug. The 5G Open Innovation Lab was a real game changer for us, and we were extremely lucky to be a part of the first class. And really for us, it was about connectivity, guidance, or mentoring, and access. And I'll say that the alumni that came out of the 5G Open Innovation Lab, they've all become friends, and we're doing business with a number of them. So it's really an amazing institution, and it's just they're incredible. And I recommend that anyone here with these ideas, as Jim made the offer, bring them to Jim, because you would be you would do very well by connecting with them and participating if given the opportunity. So next slide, please, Jim.
Thank you, Dirk. Yep.
You're welcome. So Tactile is a company we've been focused on basically the intersection of digital transformation and industrial workers. So in the world, there's about 500 million knowledge workers, but there's 2.5 billion frontline workers. And so if you think about driving technology to a completely unserved population that is 5 times the size of the population that are the heavy consumers of technology now. That's a really big opportunity, but you need to deliver those solutions in a form factor and in a mode that is acceptable for them to be using. Frontline workers, by their definition, use their hands, and frontline workers, it runs the gamut from, let's talk about, a restaurant waiter to a surgeon to an aircraft pilot to a maintainer to a person working out in the field fixing utility lines. These are all frontline workers, and they all use their hands. So you can't be carrying around a computer that you're looking at in order to get that same level of digital transformation that knowledge workers have gotten. So what you need is you need a wearable computer that allows you to have digital artifact interfaced and interacting with the real world. That's the promise of augmented reality. It is just an extension of the enterprise technology stack, but it's an extension that is usable by people in a manner that that they need. And so when we started working with Microsoft on the HoloLens about a year before it was launched, this is 2015 at this point, we really focused on how this new breed of wearable computer was going to enable the enterprise versus how it was going to be used for gaming, for example. A lot of people look at this technology, they look at VR headsets and they think gaming. But we basically said this is an opportunity for an industrial worker or a frontline worker to have that same type of a digital transformation that desktop workers have benefited from since basically the late 80s. And out of that, we did a number of workshops with our customers, with Microsoft, with customers in the federal government and defense and manufacturing. And we came up with the concept of, in effect, a digital checklist that could be driven by an augmented reality headset. And that checklist evolved into what we call Manifest. And Manifest is a SaaS-based platform that is basically organized around the principles of delivering knowledge when and where you need it. Now, that is the summary of what the solution does, but the steps that you have to take in order to get to that point have to do with how you capture knowledge, how you codify that knowledge, how you organize it in such a way that it can be accessed by the right person at the right time, and then finally how the enterprise looks at the fact that knowledge was accessed on this system and how they use it to make their environment safer, better, more efficient, etc. Manifest itself is a solution that gives frontline workers instant virtual access to step-by-step guidance from the most experienced technicians and trainers. And one thing that you'll find if you sort of have any experience in VR, AR, or when you go into it, is that the creation of the content is the real challenge. How do you create the virtual content if you're not a computer engineer, if you're not working in Unity, or if you're not working on some other creation tool on the desktop? Well, that is sort of where we start. We start on how you enable a worker to capture their knowledge just in the doing of their job. So Jim, if you want to advance, please. What Manifest does as a sort of core set of functions, it allows you to harness the knowledge of your experts, and again, we'll be showing you a video here momentarily, enabling them to create step-by-step processes just as in the doing of their job. How enterprises distribute that knowledge, so put that knowledge in the hands of the trainers and the operators everywhere. One thing also that sort of makes Tactile different is that we are focused on delivering enablement. We're not delivering training, even though people use our solution oftentimes for training. Our solution is really focused on enabling people in their job to do things that they weren't necessarily trained for, and then applying that knowledge that has been captured to lower human error, increase quality, and consistency. If you walk into any industrial facility or a manufacturer, you're going to see a sign up there, and it's going to say the last time that there was an accident. So it's been 52 days since our last accident. Let's keep up the good work and stay safe. That's what this is where really all starts in that sort of an environment. So that lowering of the human error reduces the chance of accident. So Jim, next slide, please. And there's a real opportunity out there right now, because at least here in the US, you have this what they refer to as the silver tsunami, and that is the aging out of the workforce. What are mostly referred to as the baby boomers. These are the people that were born immediately after World War II. These people are retiring, and they are leaving the workforce in droves. Many of them, by the way, took an early retirement during COVID, and all of that knowledge that they had in their heads after working on the job for 40, 50 years, that's just left. And on top of that, you have a new style of job and a new style of work that the newer entrants into the workforce are used to doing. So millennials and Gen Zs, that they're again referred to here in the US, they have a much higher attrition rate than the boomers. That's not necessarily good or bad. It's just the fact that they don't stay on the job nearly as long as the older workers. And so if you're not on the job as long, you have less opportunity to really gain that expertise that helps prevent you from doing from making errors in the doing of your job. And you know, according to many of the major reports, you have a good portion, a good percentage of unplanned manufacturing downtime resulting from human errors. And in a manufacturing environment, you know, downtime is very critical. On average, $260,000 per hour if there's a manufacturing facility or a line that is down due to unplanned errors or stoppages. So Jim, next slide, please. So we're going to show a quick video here of the Manifest product in use so that you can get an idea as to what I've been talking about.
The name of our company is Timberline Communications. We serve wireless infrastructure throughout New England. TCI works for a broad range of customers, the big three that are out there, T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. We'll do everything from the groundwork to installing the cabinets, electrical, generator installs, as well as the cellular equipment on the towers. We did a 25 kilowatt DC generator commissioning. This is the point where the generator's been installed by the electrician, wired to the cabinet, and now we have to perform the startup function. This is where it's filled. This is the dipstick to confirm the level. A real great benefit to produce a closeout package as you're going through the process, and that just saves you an extra step at the end of the project, where typically we're spending another day to capture the closeout information, where this could be doing it all along. Remote assistance is invaluable because we can get it right the first time and not spend money on the return trips, the fixes. So once I enable Manifest Direct, the subject matter expert could actually draw or place targets or directly in the HoloLens.
What's going on, man?
So testing the super cap voltage. Let me just pin you over here.
Sure.
See it. And I'm not getting the reading I'm expected to be getting. I'll show you what I'm doing. These leads, and I'm getting a reading of 53 volts, just a little over.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're testing after the inverter.
Okay.
So let me show you something here. So that's your negative lead. Okay.
Okay.
And over here,
Yep.
is your positive lead. You know what? Let me draw it out just so there's no confusion. So there's your negative lead, and then there is your positive lead. And give that a shot. You should see probably like 13 some odd volts low voltage.
All right. Yep. And it looks like we got it. All right.
Perfect. There you go, bud.
Excellent. Thanks for all the help.
All right. No worries. Stay warm.
All right. Yep. Thank you. It's been a great experience pairing with Tactile and their Manifest software. This product looks like it has limitless use cases for the industry. I can see the remote support being huge. Just having a question and not slowing an entire crew down because the question can't be answered in time. I see it as a huge value add.
So what you saw there is you saw a fully digitally enabled worker in the field accessing data that was stored in the cloud, that was authored by an expert on a real world piece of equipment. They're using this in a hands-free manner, interfacing with it using gestures, voice, gaze, that sort of thing. And then when they ran into a problem, connecting with someone remotely that would be able to help them solve that problem in real time. All of this is heavily dependent on the quality of the network and the security of the network, and as well as, you know, latency and bandwidth and all that sort of thing. So you have an example here of a real job that has been digitally transformed using a brand new set of capabilities. And this is sort of a misconception that people think this is very futuristic. There are companies such as wastewater treatment plants that are using this technology in production today. So this is not just the realm of the lab or the realm of science fiction. This is happening now, and it's all being enabled by 5G. Next slide, Jim.
Sure. And before we move to the next slide, Dirk, I'd love to ask a quick question if I can.
Sure, please.
Back 30 plus years ago, Bill Gates had a statement which was sort of a mantra for the company, right? A PC in every living room. And I have seen more and more as I've gotten the chance to work with you and your team that the use of augmented reality in the enterprise is becoming more and more. There's more adoption of that. Is that a true statement from what you've seen as well?
It absolutely is. I mean, the fit, the sort of device use, the form factor fit is really important. And this is technology. You're wearing a computer. That headset that you saw right there was running Windows. They don't all run Windows, but that's a full computer. So getting that to a miniaturized level that has a battery that will last and that can be used in the rugged environment that it needs to be used in, that has taken billions of dollars of investment from the computer ecosystem. But now all of the OEMs and ODMs around the world, all of those companies are working on a headset. You've seen Snap recently made an announcement last week that they are launching a headset, and then they bought the company that built the headset for them. Samsung is getting ready to launch a headset. Lenovo recently launched a headset. HTC has been in the headset business from the very beginning, along with Valve and the Vive, right? And so when the key is really the fit of the form factor, and when the safety glasses that we know today that every single worker in an industrial environment uses, when that has a chip in it and has connectivity, everyone is going to be using these. It's not, I mean, it is not an option. But even so, today we're seeing adoption of this technology in some of the environments that it is appropriate for right now.
Thank you, Dirk. Appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. So again, just to summarize about our product Manifest, we're certainly not the only companies in the world doing this. A lot of companies are working on specific vertical applications of it, but basically with our solution, you have ability to obviously administer the solution. Authoring is where it really where the real value starts to accrue, that ability to make it very, very easy for non-technical frontline workers to capture knowledge in such a way that, let's say that a job normally takes them 10 minutes to do, they can actually capture that knowledge in 20 minutes. If it takes 5 days or 2 weeks to capture knowledge about one process, that's going to be very hard to scale. It's about enabling operators. So again, not necessarily in training environment. This stuff gets used in training environments, but as you can see, this technology where we are is we're focused on enabling the operator out there in the field. And then of course the management of the back end. So being able to track progress, look at efficiencies, look at safety, all that sort of thing. So those are in a nutshell, that's what our platform is about. And I like to think about what we're doing is really building the universal interface for a hands-free head-mounted computer. When you look at, Jim, the comment that you made about the PC on every desktop, imagine 10 years prior, you go to someone and say, we're going to put to an accountant, we're going to put a computer here and it's going to take your spreadsheets and we're going to put them in the computer, or you're not going to have to type on paper anymore. It's all going to go into this computer, and then presentations, it's all going to wrap into one. Like you couldn't even fathom what that would be going forward. And that's sort of where we're at now with this technology. Like people look at it and they're like, this is science fiction, but it's really not. However, I will say, you look at every evolution of a technology curve, and the next technology curve is usually reduced by a factor of 10. Like you look at how long it took the telephone to get 80% market penetration was like 100 years, but the smartphone was 10 years, right? Yeah. And so we do think that we are at the stage where the genie is out of the bottle here. You've got companies like Qualcomm releasing chipsets that are really designed to be used in these mobile devices that are really low on the power consumption and really high on the capability function. The innovation that we are starting to see right now is going to change the world dramatically in the next 5 years.
That's right, Dirk. And I think that the proliferation of more connectivity and computing on the edge is going to not only make these scenarios and use cases more possible, but ultimately a lot more real life than today. What we saw was a great example of your use case in action that I can only imagine gets better when the wireless connectivity gets stronger and the offloading of that compute from the data collected gets offloaded on nearby compute as well, which is edge computing. So there's
Imagine if you have to access a hologram, an animation of a hologram, because you need to see how an engine works or how a piece of equipment works. If you have to hop up to the cloud and grab that and then bring it down and then have a lightweight device process it, versus I've got an edge compute, a mobile edge compute instance accessible from one pop away from where I am, the latency could be cut down by 90% or more.
Right. And the experience just infinitely gets better as well.
Exactly.
That's the beautiful part, Dirk, and it's almost like I paid you to say that, but I didn't. Because that's what we see as the art of the possible when you marry connectivity and compute with software. Everything that we've explored and engaged on in mobile with our devices or in public cloud was made possible because of that connection to connectivity and computing and software. In a 5G realm, all it means is it's coming closer to where you are in a big way. And so we're really excited about that. Dirk, thank you so much for taking us through Manifest and showing us a use case in action. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there's a number of great companies, though, Dirk, that you have been working with. You've touched on a number of these. Last we chatted a little while ago, you've been working quite a bit with the U.S. Department of Defense, and I know there's a number of use cases there you can't talk about publicly, but this is something that defense organizations around the world are really turning to for some of their use cases. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, without question. I mean, defense is fairly unique in that their ability to use public networking infrastructure is extremely limited. They have to control the network, and they have to make sure that it's secure. So earlier in one of the slides that you went through, you talked about the private network build out of this. We just were one of many awardees of a $600 million contract by the Department of Defense to support the evaluation of 5G in the deployment in a military environment. And there is a lot of interest in this because it allows the replacement of long stretches of wires across massive environments and very safe and secure connections that the military can stand up. That also has the benefit of being standard based, so that a user can move from a public network to a private network, and they can do so seamlessly without needing to deal with re-credentialing and all that sort of thing. So the military is, and this is not just the U.S. military, there's military around the world, as you can see here, are investing heavily in this because they see the promise for this. And again, they need to control all their computing. I mean, every environment that the military runs needs to be encrypted, and it needs to have two-factor authentication, provided in it. So these are requirements for the military. And by the way, if you can support the security and the usage models that the military around the world need, you can certainly support what the private sector needs.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that, Dirk. And the reason why I wanted to highlight the military organizations around the world is their coincidental private enterprise networking almost to a T, because unlike fixed private network environments, these are literally networks that are being dropped out of the back of airplanes or dynamically provisioned and set up and then dynamically tore down based on whatever the use cases demand in the field. So these are environments that are providing private network connectivity, but doing so in a very rapid way, right? And in a very temporary way as well. And they're pushing the envelope of not just those networks and the security of those networks, but also pushing the workloads of the use cases that those networks are designed to support as well.
And not, I mean, Jim, you also talked about the use cases that we couldn't even conceive of that 5G opened up. This is a perfect example. Okay, now I don't have to worry about the limitations that traditional networking provides. I know I can go out there and I have a little hockey puck of a CPU, and I've got a 5G hotspot, and I can enable an entire unit of a military fighting force squadron or whatever that is in whatever environment it needs, and I can do that mobily, securely, quickly, and efficiently. What are the use cases that's going to drive? Like it used to be 15 years ago when I'd go on a business trip, I'd print out the instructions before I went. Now I don't even think about it. I just get out of the plane, I look at my phone, and I say, take me to Apple or wherever I need to go. And it it takes me there, right? It's knowledge on demand. By the way, that's the promise of this technology. The promise of this technology is the creation of these use cases that we can't even imagine right now. We won't imagine until someone just does them, you know?
That's fantastic. Thank you, Dirk. And one thing that I get really excited about the work that we're doing in this lab is that we are exploring that software side, the implementation of this connectivity with edge computing, highlighting great use cases like what you're referring to with Manifest and some of the engagements that you've been driving as well with customers. And so that's awesome. Now, one of the things that I wanted to quickly end on as we wrap up our session today is that jobs are going to be changing in the future for those of you that are part of the hackathon today who are students and thinking about the types of jobs that will likely exist over the next 5 to 10 years. We're not experts in this world, but we are spending a lot of time trying to understand what types of new jobs are either going to be created or are being created today. And we wanted to end with just a number of those jobs across 5 different industries, from industrial automation to telecom, healthcare, agriculture, and retail. And these aren't exhaustive, but they are great indicators of the types of roles that are going to exist that will increase dependency on data. And in many cases, the implementation of that data for automation purposes and others. And so with that, I wanted to end on this positive note that there's a software revolution happening in 5G, that 5G is really the marrying of connectivity and computing on the edge. And as you just saw with Dirk's presentation about Manifest and Tactile, that some really cool use cases can exist when you bring that world together using the power of software. And so with that, I wanted to thank you all for listening to our session today. Wish those of you who are part of the hackathon all the best with your projects. I'm sure you guys will do fun and enjoy that journey. And Dirk, thank you so much for spending some time with us today and recording the session with me. It's been a true honor to be able to share the stage with you, my friend. And so thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, my friends. Well, you have a great rest of your hackathon, and we look forward to seeing the outcomes of that.
Hello, professors, students, and all the guests. I'm very honored and glad to join you today in Philippines' biggest 5G hackathon organized by Globe Telecom and GLSU Amino Labs. My name is Andrew Kaur from Intel Corporation, and I'm going to share with you on the topic of Intel on 5G and IoT, connecting a data-driven world. We have caught a glimpse of 5G potentials with carriers rolling out coverage in cities across the world. However, the true impact of 5G is just beginning. There's a bigger picture here. 5G is not just about connecting people with data or people with people. It goes far beyond faster smartphones to connect billions of devices with billions of other smart devices. Converges the world of computing and communications to create virtually unlimited compute power from the cloud to the network to the edge. What happens when compute is everywhere? It provides a springboard to a range of new enhanced services. It changes the way we connect with the world as systems and processes adapt and learn in real time. It transforms our cities and industries while driving disruptions and creating opportunities around the globe. Like 4G enabled the mobile app economy, 5G is enabling a whole new wave of innovation and business transformation on a much larger scale. In fact, transformed 5G networks are forming the infrastructure for a fully connected mobile and smart society. As we can see, 5G is taking the industry beyond communications. Yet, much of the conversation around 5G today is still focused on wireless improvements. Work on wireless is important, but it's not the whole story. In fact, wireless is just one component of a much bigger picture. When you zoom out, you see a fundamental paradigm shift in computing and communications in underway. 5G is changing the paradigm of computing, as I mentioned before. Compute is no longer being siloed in the centralized data centers. Instead, computing intelligence are being distributed across a reimagined network. The imaginations of the network is key. That's because 5G and the experiences that distributed computing enables can only be as powerful as the network that supports them. From the cloud to the core network to the radio access network and all the way to the edge, an evolution is happening. We are moving from fixed function appliances to cloud servers, essentially running a network application. What this means is we are extending the power and flexibility of the cloud. It is similar to what happened when we moved from flip phones to smartphones. The former was designed to do just one thing, make voice calls. With a smartphone, voice calling is now just an application, and your smartphone has become a flexible computing device in your hand. Similarly, traditional equipment running networks up until now has essentially been appliances, devices designed to do one thing. With virtualization, Intel-powered cloud servers have the flexibility to change workloads based on demand, and we have seen cloud providers really push the limits of what you can do with virtualized cloud architecture. This is how we are distributing compute and intelligence across the network. Cloud servers are being deployed across the network to handle a myriad of networking functions that are becoming virtualized and software-defined. They bring with them the computing power to run new applications and services, including artificial intelligence over more agile, optimizable, and scalable networks. What's more, these networks have the potential to become self-managed, intelligent enough to recognize and adapt in real time to the specific requirements of the user or use case and provide the service automatically. The next compute paradigm is bringing together wireless computing, the cloud and the edge, and innovative technologies like AI or artificial intelligence and Internet of Things, IoT, to create a unified technological foundations and a scalable global marketplace. And the timing is perfect. What do I mean by that? It has to do with the increasingly massive amount of data our world is creating. In fact, IDC predicts that the amount of global data generated will reach 175 zettabytes by 2025. This new reality of data demands requires a reliable, real-time system to move, store, and process all that data. 5G ultra-reliable and ultra-low latency capabilities can facilitate those demands across data networks and unlock a range of new applications from immersive virtual reality to factory automation. This next paradigm of computing is creating an adaptive, predictive, and autonomous world. In this world, wireless networks will enable real-time and fully reliable connectivity. They will no longer be a bottleneck. They will facilitate exponentially increasing interactions loops between people and teams, and they will make workload requirements dynamic and application control. This will be true on a broad scale and also a local one. With distributed compute and applications of new spectrum models, such as locally licensed spectrum, wireless networks will enable new local ecosystems. Their performance will meet local network criteria for enterprise and factories, reducing costs and creating flexibility. To achieve this, these networks fundamentally altered their design to become fully distributed computers, leveraging each networking node to its fullest. As I mentioned, networks are moving from fixed function to become more virtualized and software defined as the power of the cloud is distributed all the way to the edge. This process is called cloudification. Two of the key technologies underpinning cloudifications are software-defined networking, or we call SDN, and network functions virtualization, NFV. SDN is about creating a programmable software-driven environment that provides agility to remove the hardware-specific limitations of legacy networks. NFV is the implementation of network building blocks that run over software for greater flexibility and real-time adaptability. This cloud-like transformation enables the benefits of next-generation networks. Not only will these networks unlock new services like network slicing, dedicated network slices tailored to meet industry or application-specific requirements, but also they will be more efficient, agile, and cost-effective. In addition, the dynamic and real-time nature of these networks will distribute intelligence and resources where they are needed. This optimizes workloads and lowers total cost of ownership. And with a single architecture foundation, this network will be extremely flexible and scalable. As a company, our ambition is to create world-changing technology that enriches the lives of every person on Earth. We are focused on unleashing the power of data across the cloud, the network, and the edge to open up a whole new world of opportunity for our customers and partners. 5G is a foundational part of that world, and Intel is foundational to 5G. Intel is becoming part of the fabric of the 5G network in the same way that is the backbone of the data center. The breadth of our portfolio spans across processors, memory, connectivity, accelerators, and software that can be used to create industry-leading solutions. We have made bold investments to deliver an unmatched network silicon portfolio for 5G infrastructure to transform network infrastructure from core to edge and unlock the full potential of 5G. These investments included the second generation or third generation of Xeon scalable portfolios enhancements, our Intel Atom P5900 processors, which is the first architecture-based 10 nanometers SoCs for wireless base station, Diamond Mesa, which is our first generation structured ASIC for 5G network acceleration, and also Intel's 5G network optimized Ethernet NIC. With these products, we are delivering the increased performance and flexibility that our customers need to rapidly deliver services with low latency where they are needed the most. Of course, this latest effort built on a continued work provide leading products and solutions from the cloud to the core, to the edge, to the access, and networks to devices and IoT. We understand that the challenge of our telecom and enterprise customers face to quickly develop and validate technology solutions. That's why we have created blueprints to make development simpler and enable companies to go to market faster. Intel and its ecosystem of partners offer scalable end-to-end solutions and frameworks that provide solid business results today and lay the foundation for more intelligence tomorrow. because we are committed to helping our customers deliver the transformative promise of IoT, the edge, and the network. We have developed over 130 Intel IoT market-ready solutions, as well as frameworks to help businesses capitalize on the game-changing advantages of the IoT and the edge. All these are made possible by Intel IoT partner ecosystems. These solutions are all optimized for data-intensive workloads. Intel IMRs are adaptable, vetted, and ready for immediate implementation across multiple industries, including industrial, smart cities, retail, educations, and enterprise and healthcare. On the network side, our proven solutions and frameworks enable communication service providers to move at a rapid clip in transforming their network for a 5G-enabled future. Intel Select solution for network transformation offer a faster and more efficient deployment path for verified, reliable infrastructure configurations, just like the vRAN Select solution that we have. These configurations support all the virtual network enhancements and help meet emerging customers' workload. 5G networks and AI are the two most influential technologies of our time. They are working together to infuse business and consumer experiences with powerful insights that unlock not only the efficiencies, but also entirely new services and economic value. In fact, the global GDP from indirect, direct, and productivity value from 5G and AI will reach $17.9 trillion by 2035. The chart on the right shows a breakdown of projected 5G and AI value in US billions from 2018 to 2036. It's clear that 5G ecosystems and AI ecosystem are each independently demonstrating steady growth. However, what is most interesting is the skyrocketing amount of productivity value the technologies create together. In 2028, we'll hit an inflection point where the combination of 5G and AI creates explosive and exponential value. So how does 5G work with AI then? Their relationship is actually symbiotic. 5G distributes intelligence, AI, here, from the cloud to the edge to extract values from billions of data-generating devices, that's IoT devices. At the same time, AI helps 5G by creating the potential for self-managed networks that dynamically adjust for optimal performance. The combined potential of 5G and AI leads to previously unimagined levels of insight, efficiencies, and the new revenue for businesses. From faster real-time optimized factories to predictive retail inventory to smart city planning, their impact across industries will be transformational. With the billions of IoT devices connected by 5G, businesses are gaining access to massive amount of real-time data to maximize the analytical power of AI for operational decisions. In terms of efficiencies, 5G can actually apply AI closer to the applications to create conditions for optimal performance. And 5G networks will extend AI to the new applications so companies can offer new AI fuel experiences and services and even explore new business models. 5G and edge distribute compute throughout the network, bringing the power of cloud closer to the end user to support latency-sensitive applications and rapid data transfer. In fact, 75% of enterprise-generated data will be processed outside centralized data centers or the cloud by 2025. The edge offers options for enterprise computing beyond the traditional data centers. While some applications benefit from high volume processing and storage of the cloud or data center, other applications benefit from the ultra-low latencies the edge provides. Running applications on the edge brings those applications closer to the point of service delivery, which can help enterprises enhance quality of services and generate actionable insights faster while overcoming the cost and complexity of data movement. So, How do 5G and edge work together then? 5G makes the divisions of computing resources along the cloud network edge continuum possible, and its ultra reliable, low latency capabilities make the shorter connection between the device and the edge even more efficient. Together, 5G and edge deliver ultra low latency, agile scaling, and enhanced service for business. With high speed that 5G and the low latency of edge, businesses can eliminate intolerable applications, delays, and act on data insight in real time. Businesses are also on the verge of unprecedented ability to test and scale new markets with the flexibility to expand compute power where it delivers the most value for business. Furthermore, with the increased bandwidth and reliability of 5G and edge computing, businesses across industries will deliver seamless customer experiences and even unlock new services, from zero delay cloud gaming to real time traffic routing, fast data driven manufacturing production. 5G and edge computing are working together to enable a new era of business innovation. Our world is generating more data than ever before, but we are only utilizing a fraction of that data. 5G and the Internet of Things enable businesses to capture, store, and move data from massive amounts of devices at scale. In other words, they solve the problem of businesses leaving valuable data untapped. The Internet of Things is the enormous network of connected machines that is the result of adding connectivity to the devices beyond traditional compute devices. By 2025, IoT will generate over half of the world's data. Transmitting all of that data and realizing its potential demands the ultra high capacity that 5G networks provide. The explosion of devices and data are becoming dependent on 5G to share their data and distribute intelligence to machines that enhance the experience, safety, and efficiencies of our world. Working together, 5G and IoT create the potential for more shared data, computer vision at scale, and real-time optimization that positively impact businesses. 5G is connecting more devices than ever, enabling businesses to act on a massive of data for decision making like never before. With visual IoT devices such as connected cameras, 5G is enabling them to access inference and intelligence. On a grander scale, 5G is connecting IoT to the edge and cloud for distributed computing. Using this paradigm, time-sensitive IoT applications can continuously optimize. 5G, along with AI, IoT, and edge computing, is transforming industries across sectors. The way we approach things like managing factory production, delivering healthcare to remote areas, and purchasing goods and services are all evolving and changing. This evolution is initiating ripples of impact that spur business opportunities, market growth, and the global economy. At Intel, we call this the 5G effect. Those enterprise businesses that understand the 5G effect and how it can impact their industries are positioned to unleash promising innovations, disrupt their competition, and transform their operations. These are the businesses exploring how to access real-time insights for actionable decision making, enhance productivity with connected devices and automation, and even launch new categories of products and services that wouldn't be possible without 5G. 5G is ushering us into an era of precision manufacturing, which is we call it Industry 4.0. This era is marked by automation and optimization with access to real-time, actionable data from billions of connected things, or IoT. In fact, over 75 billions of IoT devices will be installed by 2025, creating 3.7 trillion big T US dollar in annual economic impact for factories. A few areas that I'm going to talk about today is expand intelligent automation. In manufacturing, productivity is a crucial factor for success. With 5G enhanced connectivity and ultra-fast speeds, technologies like computer visions that depend on high bandwidth and high bandwidth can intelligently automate complex workflows and processes. Production is easier to turn on and off based on demand, which increases efficiency and output. From an overarching business perspective, the ubiquitous connectivity of 5G enables constant and iterative optimization of processes from shipping and logistics to production schedules. This is because 5G connectivity, even for the smaller sensors in remote locations, coupled with real-time edge processing, makes factory and industrial data more accessible. These benefits extend to factory machines themselves. With 5G, maintenance becomes proactive and predictive. Using 5G-enabled edge computing and AI, manufacturers can resolve problems before they cause failures on the floor for less downtime and improve productivity and definitely cost savings as well. In fact, predictive maintenance can reduce machine maintenance costs by up to 30%. With 5G, manufacturers can help keep factories workers safer. They can choose to delegate the most dangerous tasks to autonomous vehicles or remote control robots with access to highly reliable, ultra-low latency connectivity. Furthermore, scores of factory data and surveillance drones enabled with computer visions can help to proactively identify risks before accidents happen, helping to make sure everyone on the factory floors stays safe. There are two worlds of retail right now, the digital and the physical. The internet revolution brought seamless online shopping experiences, which is easy product and price comparison, personalized offers, quick checkout. Meanwhile, traditional brick-and-mortar retail offers tangible interactions with products and opportunity to try it out before you buy, another form of convenience. 5G, AI, and IoT are helping retailers get the best of both worlds. These technologies are bringing physical and digital retail together to create an omni-channel revolution. These revolutions delivers opportunities to engage shoppers with more personalization, increase sales, and reduce costs with highly curated, customized, and unified experiences from online to in-store. In fact, the value of the global smart retail market will reach $58 billion by 2020. The omni-channel era of retail delivers one seamless experience. 5G and edge computing enable computer visions and AI to extend the highly personalized nature of online shopping to physical locations. Take smart signage, for example. When a customer walks by, the smart signs considers browsing history of the shopper's demographics. Then it creates an AI-generated profile for instant targeted offers and discounts. To add to the elevated service, computer visions can even detect customer moods and alerts staff to provide assistance. Behind the scenes, retailers can enhance operations to boost productivity and efficiencies. The high speed and ultra-low latencies of 5G networks and IoT sensors help retailers to streamline operations and supply chain logistics from material sourcing to final sales in near real time. Stores will also be able to track inventories level and automate restocking with smart shelves while predicting demand and optimizing pricing with AI. Not only does this reduce out of stocks in instances, but it also increases profitability. The easier that retailers can make it for shoppers to purchase, the more likely they are get to the sales. Retailers can use smart payment technology over ultra-reliable 5G networks to eliminate the problem of long checkout lines. That means customers can pay without even talking to anyone or the staffs or even pulling out their credit cards, creating a frictionless checkout experience in the store. Right now, the media and entertainment industry is transforming. subscription-based services and video streaming are dominating the industry. In fact, we expect that 82% of mobile data traffic will be video by 2022. The shift from a broadcast to broadband model is enabled by increasing access to fast 5G networks. 5G is unleashing new and enhanced immersive media formats and experiences, fundamentally changing the way we create, consume, and share content. There are compelling opportunities emerging from this transformation. We project that the value of 5G-enabled immersive media like AR, augmented reality, VR, and cloud gaming will reach $18 billion by 2025, while overarching global 5G mobile media revenues will reach $756 billion by 2028. 5G cloud gaming is becoming truly the next level. The ultra-low latencies of 5G is enabling media companies to enhance experiences for gamers with console-quality, near-zero delay cloud gaming from anywhere in the world on any devices. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill gaming content. Gamers are also becoming empowered to stream ultra high-quality video in real time. Eventually, they will enjoy features like 3D volumetric with haptic feedback, ultimately creating a new realm of curated cloud gaming services. The value of video streaming market will reach nearly $135 billion by 2025. With 5G's ultra-reliable coverage and ultra-high speeds, consumers will be empowered to stream high-bandwidth, high-quality media like 8K video with flawless graphics without any lag. To realize all these new media use cases, we need to meet skyrocketing demand for compute-intense visual workloads. The ultra-low latency and ultra-high bandwidth of 5G, combined edge computing, AI, and the visual cloud have the power to move, store, and process the new reality of visual data, workloads, and services. Service providers can even use their existing network infrastructure to monetize content delivery networks and facilitate media use cases in effective and efficient ways. We are bringing the power of Intel technology to 5G, distributing compute from the cloud to the network to the edge, because we see a much bigger picture here than faster phones. We see a data-centric future marked by a fully connected and intelligent society. Thank you all. That's all I have today. And again, thanks for having me today. And good luck to all the participants for this hackathon. Thank you.
We've made it our mission to empower our customers and partners to take full advantage of the limitless possibilities of the data-centric world. In that world, one area of innovation that represents exciting opportunities for business transformation is 5G. And Intel is uniquely positioned to power the full range of technologies needed to make 5G a reality. So much more than simply the next G, 5G is a revolutionary, sea-change moment in technology and business. One that carries with it the opportunity to leap beyond the limitations of 4G communication to create an entirely new ecosystem of connectivity where data is moved, stored, and processed from the device to the edge to the cloud, in near real time. We're building new foundations of intelligent networking that will connect tens of billions of devices, humans, and AI, paving the way into our connected and immersive future. And 5G networks are being built now, from the network edge to the data center. From scalable IoT technologies to network transformation, wireless connectivity, and AI, we're creating the technology that will show the world anything is possible. At Intel, we push possible forward.
Winning in retail today requires digital transformation, where greater actionable insights, generated through AI and analytics, power more personalized, differentiated, hyper-convenient customer experiences, separating you from your competition. Welcome to the Smart Store. A digitally transformed Smart Store is much more than just a collection of endpoint technologies. Every technology is connected and integrated at the edge. Customer, inventory, promotional, environmental data, and other data types are aggregated to simplify analysis. The result? You gain the actionable insights you need to drive greater traffic, deliver reimagined shopping experiences, and increase revenue opportunities, all while providing unprecedented operating efficiency. For example, imagine a customer sees an ad on a Smart Shelf display and picks up the promoted item. The Smart Shelf shows more info about the item and the customer places it in her cart. The Smart Shelf then promotes another product on the shelf that inventory shows being overstocked and offers a coupon code. The customer decides to purchase it as well, and the Smart Shelf alerts staff when additional on-shelf product is required. The ability to analyze data in near real time at the edge is the catalyst for transforming customer experiences. In a hurry, the customer uses a self-checkout POS at the front of the store for a fast, frictionless, secure purchase transaction, potentially triggering orders to suppliers for replenishment. Customer interactions like these across the store are continuously sensed and shared to derive ever-improving insight about customers and the store's promotional strategies. But the value extends beyond customer experiences. Sales staff can be alerted when customers need help to provide timely assistance, while staff productivity can be increased through automated inventory updates and online order fulfillment requests. Best of all, the store's revenue potential and operating efficiency climb significantly. Yet this only scratches the surface of how the connected, insight-driven Smart Store can transform retail for everyone: customers, retailers, and staff.
One of the biggest challenges for emergency response is the lack of efficient coordination for mission-critical operations and how to quickly create situational awareness from a distance. The methods available today are mainly based on radio for speech, which limits the creation of situational awareness for decision-making, when minutes and seconds save lives. 5G, in combination with AI and distributed cloud technologies, enables an efficient way to aggregate, analyze, compute, and present large amounts of data. By utilizing 5G networks, advanced tools and technologies such as drones and high-quality virtual reality and augmented reality, innovative and efficient ways of virtual collaboration can be created. This is a public safety proof of concept which was developed by Skydome using Intel technologies. In this scenario, we have an ongoing hotel fire. As a rescue leader, you put on VR glasses, enter the virtual command center, and gain awareness of the situation from all available sources. You can add weather information to the map and observe weather changes several hours ahead. This could be useful if a fire generates a lot of smoke and you need to see which direction the wind is blowing in order to evacuate the affected areas. If you are a rescue leader but not an expert on high-rise building fires, you can call in an expert who also puts on VR glasses to collaborate in the virtual reality environment. The expert gets an avatar so they can see each other within the virtual environment. The green laser beam shows what the other person is watching, which helps them to describe the situation to each other and collaboratively solve the situation. They get information from body cams or other cameras around the fire. They can also get information from IoT sensors about how many people are left in their rooms. All IoT devices, including cameras, are using 5G for data transfer. Biometric data from smart clothing worn by firefighters helps the rescue leader see how exhausted a person is, so that they can replace the person in order to keep efficiency and safety. There is a view of available resources and the people the rescue leader need to connect with. Video sequences from various news channels can also be viewed. With the drone, we reach 120 meters and we see the burning hotel using video streaming over 5G. The IoT sensors estimate that 74 people are in the building. So already when the fire brigade arrives, you have the opportunity to pinpoint the rooms they should investigate first. Here you see resources all around, the distance of the ambulance and the area that the police have blocked. The fire truck is on its way, and the white line is the path that the fire truck will use. Traffic congestion has been detected, and the smart city navigation system must present a new way for the firefighters to get to the fire. Back to the building, we see that the fire trucks will arrive soon. The turquoise auras show the targeted building, and the IoT system knows how many people are left inside. Now the fire trucks are in place, and the firefighters can run into the hotel and go through the rooms that still show that they are populated. In this case, video analytics has been added in order to analyze and search for people and objects. Skydome are experts in presenting information in an effective way using VR and AR. Their solution also enables collaboration between multiple persons in a VR world. 5G provides a high bandwidth, low latency network architecture that, in combination with distributed cloud and edge computing technologies, enables real-time workloads and new services not feasible to implement in previous generations. High-quality VR and AR environments require the low latency and quality of service that the 5G network provides, which makes it feasible to use for mission-critical operations. The massive amount of data aggregated This public transport proof of concept is part of an initiative led by Urban ICT Arena, Keolis, Telia, Ericsson, and Intel that showcases how 5G and control towers can enable a more sustainable and efficient public transport system. The project is supported by Vinnova and Drive Sweden. The minibus used in the proof of concept was provided by technology company T Engineering. Being able to analyze data close to the source makes it possible to deliver services with very low latency. The proof of concept entails a 5G connected public transportation vehicle implemented with an intelligent edge node. This enables the transport operator to provide better services to its customers. Several high-definition sensors have been installed in the vehicle, which generate a large amount of data. The data is analyzed in real time by the 5G connected edge node residing inside the vehicle. The artificial intelligence, AI, is running on the edge node and has been trained to perform multiple different tasks, including detection of road issues, potholes, passenger counting, and analysis of the movement patterns of objects outside the vehicle. All communication from the edge node transmitted via the 5G network to the data center is made more secure using Intel hardware and software. When the vehicle is in motion, the edge node constantly analyzes the generated data by the implemented sensors using AI. This means that large amounts of data have to be handled in real time. Therefore, an Intel Xeon scalable processor with Intel Deep Learning Boost coupled with 6 terabytes of Intel Optane persistent memory is used per node. With these capabilities, AI tasks are highly accelerated by having models so close to the compute cores. The solution utilizes Intel Software Guard extensions, Intel SGX, to increase the security of the data transfer from the edge to the data center. Intel SGX uses private memory regions called enclaves to help protect code and data while in use. Intel SGX technology creates a more secure connection, making it possible to ensure that the right person has access to the correct security level of data or video feed from the sensor. The vehicle is constantly updating the central traffic control tower based on analytics. If the self-driving vehicle gets into a situation it is unable to solve on its own, it stops and alerts the traffic control tower. An operator in the traffic control tower helps the vehicle to make the correct decision, and if needed, will be able to remotely maneuver the vehicle around the obstacle. Once the issue is resolved, the remote driver will hand the control back to the vehicle. The powerful video analytics system is enabled by the Intel distribution of OpenVINO toolkit. The toolkit extends workloads across Intel hardware, including accelerators, and maximizes performance. The video analytics is also anonymizing data, which means it blurs faces and license plates before sending the video stream to the control tower. In the next phase of this project, we are focusing on making the vehicle more autonomous so we can remove the safety driver from the vehicle. We are bringing the power of Intel technology to 5G, distributing compute from the cloud to the network to the edge. 5G network transformation, AI, and the rise of the intelligent edge are inflection points that are shaping the future of technology. These inflections have a multiplier effect that makes each more impactful than it would be on its own.
As computing power is pushed from cloud to edge, new opportunities arise for edge workloads that benefit from low latency, near real-time analysis and connectivity, such as network densification using 5G small cell deployment. This creates a better customer experience and opens a number of valuable opportunities to reach customers in new and improved ways. The Intel Openness Toolkit and Artificial Intelligence Computer Vision, like the OpenVINO Toolkit, helps organizations develop and deploy applications at the network edge that delight users and create real value for network providers and businesses. One of the most exciting use cases for this new technology is contextual information delivery enabled by edge compute with 5G connectivity that assists with driver alerts and hyper-local, near real-time information. For example, nearby restaurants can promote available reservations based on the user-defined preferences of the user. Users can also be notified in real time of open parking at nearby facilities and reserve a space with the push of a button. Onboard notifications like low fuel levels can lead to coordinated alerts that provide directions to nearby filling or charging stations. Whether it's enabling new use cases and creating revenue streams, connecting vehicles to the world around it, or innovating transport scenarios, solutions powered by Intel unlock potential that delights infrastructure owner-operators and creates unprecedented value for businesses while improving citizens' quality of life.
As we turn the page from driving combustion engine vehicles to using electric cars, some elements of the journey will look rather different. The recharging process itself could mean we find ourselves at forecourts for an extended period of time. Intel hardware and software technologies will deliver broad capabilities that will lead to a wide range of exciting creative opportunities and a new technology-driven ecosystem. Starting whilst the driver is still at the charging point, OpenVINO technology can capture customers' attention, promoting offers and services. Meanwhile, the technology ecosystem will analyze, back up, and compare data within the cloud, ensuring all driving elements are functioning at an optimal level and providing us with vital information for our journey. Convenience Retail will provide a digitally enabled shopping experience. This will give us the opportunity to pre-order online, as well as providing forecourt-based services like collecting packages, access to a secure 5G work area, or even the option to visit a doctor's surgery. Thanks to Intel's leadership in driving network transformation and their full portfolio of technology products and services, consumers will adapt quickly to this new experience. The future of vehicle recharging will be convenient, enjoyable, and vitally, environmentally friendly.
What do we mean when we say all you need is an idea and Intel inside? That in today's fast-moving, high-tech world, big ideas are powered by a one-of-a-kind partnership with Intel, because our customer-first approach is more than just a byline. From the moment we put the silicon in Silicon Valley, Intel has been accelerating the industry in big ways, setting a course for a new era of bold innovation. No one else is this obsessed with engineering a brighter future. That's why we're driving the industry's biggest inflection points, putting intelligence where it's needed most, in ways that only Intel can, with a multi-architecture approach that empowers our customers to transform their businesses from the inside out. We're democratizing AI in big ways, combining software and hardware to open up new possibilities. And we're moving that innovation around the world at lightning speeds with our advances in 5G. Collaborating with global operators and creating a new vision for networks of the future. We're taking intelligence and bringing it to the edge. Accelerating business outcomes with over 30,000 edge-to-cloud solution deployments. And we're taking that same innovation to the streets, deploying new technology and advanced data layers to make autonomous driving not only possible, but safe and seamless. Every day, we create world-changing technology that enriches the lives of every person on Earth. Making bold moves, because Intel has the unique portfolio breadth and depth, plus the global scale to serve as an unparalleled catalyst for our partners' biggest ambitions. So if you've got a big idea, let's go off and do something wonderful together.
Hi, hope that everyone is having a great week. I'm Wendy Gura, Industry Technical Specialist at Intel. Today, I would like to talk about Intel 5G and AI and how we can leverage that superpowers of technology in accelerating intelligent business. Let me start with our agenda. First, we will talk about 5G and AI. Then, the three phases of AI and 5G. Moving to the benefits for business. And then, unlocking transformative use cases and how Intel powers AI and 5G. According to ABI research, 5G and artificial intelligence are the breakthrough technologies of this decade. The two technologies, each in its own way, bringing thousands of the most influential and innovative companies together to build one of the strongest ecosystems likely to transform the way we live and work. The combination of these technologies will serve as a catalyst to many other emerging technologies and will pave the way for a variety of new business opportunities in the consumer and enterprise segments, otherwise not possible with existing technologies. Having said that, let me introduce you to the three phases of AI and 5G. Now, there are three phases of AI and 5G. First phase, 5G accelerates AI deployments. Second, 5G distributes intelligence. And the third phase, 5G enables new AI paradigms. So, let's discuss each phase. The first phase, The biggest barrier to enterprise AI innovation is data readiness. 2/3 of the world's data didn't exist 5 years ago, and the data sphere will grow more than 5 times by 2025, according to IDC. With gigabit speed, ultra-low latency, ultra-high reliability, and the infrastructure and access to handle massive amounts of data, AI-enabled 5G networks power applications that accelerates the global economy. AI workloads will be processed automatically in the place delivering the highest value, from the largest central data centers to the smallest intelligent devices. 5G can support a variety of services types, use cases, and applications with different technologies and quality of service requirements. This will allow mobile services providers to react to market demand in timely manner by enabling the launch of a new services and use cases in a matter of days, not months or even years. Second, 5G distributes intelligence. So 5G and AI is bringing the data science beyond the data center. Applying AI at scale requires the powerful and flexible computing resources of the cloud. 5G networks are agile, virtualized, and software-defined, essentially cloudified, enabling them to shuttle the data needed for machine learning between applications and data center at gigabit speeds, or even faster at the edge in the distributed cloud using processors within wireless networking equipment. The goal here is to deploy computing resources and AI on demand to transform the way information is collected, rendered, transmitted, and analyzed, thereby simplifying technology complexity, enhancing service experiences, and improving the overall infrastructure operation efficiency. Intel-powered 5G networks will open doors to a full potential of artificial intelligence, extending AI applications beyond the cloud to the network edge and closer to where the data is created. Then last phase, the third phase, 5G enables the next era of AI-driven business powered by cognitive reasoning, machine learning, and deep learning by tapping into massive amounts of data connected for the first time by pervasive networks. Unleashing AI across the cloud, core network, and edge will unlock insights that would otherwise be unattainable. Business that tap into distributed intelligence and new AI paradigms will unlock new and enhanced services, use cases, models, and economic growth. Speaking of business, let's determine what are the business benefits of AI and 5G. By 2025, 5G and AI will enable a multitude of industries to improve productivity and deliver game-changing products and services. And by 2035, 5G and AI will unleash economic growth across industries, unlock entirely business models, and fundamentally change how the world functions. Let's take a closer look on the chart. On the right shows the breakdown of projected 5G and AI value in US billions from 2018 to 2036. What I've noticed here is that in 2028, the combination of 5G and AI will create massive productivity value that surpasses the value of each their independent ecosystems. It's an inflection point that drives explosive growth. Let's check the numbers involved. So, there are $12.3 trillion global sales activity generated by 5G technology by 2035. A projected 3.5 billion wireless IoT connections expected by 2023. providing a wealth of data for AI application. Computing power harnessed by AI has doubled every 3 months since 2012. And there's a projected increase in labor productivity from AI alone in developed countries by 2035. And to highlight, there is $17.9 trillion in global GDP from 5G and AI direct, indirect, and productivity value by 2035. So the projected value is $17.9 trillion. Upon realizing the business values and benefits of 5G and AI, let's check what are the possible opportunities that will be unlocked. So, there are short-term and long-term opportunities. Let me start with the short-term opportunities, which is quite powerful. Like in manufacturing, humans and robots make a perfect team using their strength and real-time data to solve problems and increase productivity. While in health, doctors use connected devices for AI-powered patients monitoring that extends real-time. Remote care to more people, increasing hospital efficiency. Related to that, Intel and ABI did a research that there will be 40.8 million global shipments of AI-enabled wearables by 2023 that is commonly used in health sector. Transportation. How about transportation? Municipalities use more accurate real-time data from connected vehicles for software-powered road governance that reduces transportation costs. There's a projected value of 10% reduction in transportation costs by 2023. And another segment, media. Content owners deliver rich media that is localized and personalized, enhancing consumer experiences and creating new revenue opportunities. We're done with the short-term opportunities. Now we go to the long-term opportunities, which is transformative. In manufacturing, workers rely on a flexible wireless factories that reconfigured and adapt in real time for specific production tasks to shorten lead times and boost productivity. In health, doctors use collaborative training and edge devices to learn and master patient behaviors for highly personalized predictive care to improve outcomes and efficiency. In fact, there's a projected $223.4 billion in US cost savings from increased health sector productivity by 2035. How about transportation? Connected vehicles use ultra-precise 3D HD maps that enables driving software to better respond to unfolding events and plan optimal routes. This will result to 14% productivity boost in automotive and transportation sector from technology innovation by 2035. And of course, media. Content creators proliferate stunning and innovative media experiences using AI to personalize content and deliver immersive, lifelike VR and haptic mapping. Just want to share to you some of our customer success stories. A great example of simplicity is DC Water, a leading utility based in Washington, D.C. that was looking for a more efficient and accurate way to inspect underground pipes for possible damage. DC Water distributes drinking water and collects and treats wastewater for more than 672,000 residents and 17.8 million annual visitors in the District of Columbia. The manual review of and classification of video scans and sewers and utilities pipeline infrastructure can be time-consuming. DC Water was looking for a better way of conducting analysis and reporting of pipelines to optimize service and repair and infrastructure replacement and lower cost. DC Water, in collaboration with WePro, developed PipeSleuth to automate the process of identification, annotation, scoring, grading of pipeline health, and reporting of pipeline defects. Optimized PipeSleuth with Intel Xeon Scalable processors and Intel distribution of OpenVINO resulted in faster time to market, cost savings on analysis, and allows for more spending on capital improvements. Burger King, a global fast food leader who streamlined development of a deep learning-based drive-through food recommender using Intel's Analytics toolkit. Their goal was to improve the customer experience and sales. A customized recommendation was developed by considering two types of information. The first was guest order behavior, and the second was context information like weather, time, and location. For example, you wouldn't want to feature ice cream during a winter storm in Alaska at night. Their recommender system integrates Spark data processing and distributes MXNet training using Ray in a unified pipeline on a single Xeon cluster, eliminating the overhead of heterogeneity in streamlines end-to-end data science and eliminates the need for dedicated GPU hardware. Another one is SK Telecom, the largest mobile operator in South Korea, manages more than 400,000 cell towers with over 27 million subscribers. This network handles 1.4 million records every second. In order to effectively analyze the massive amount of data, SK Telecom and Intel engineers built an end-to-end network AI pipeline for network quality prediction using Analytics Zoo and FlashBase, running on Intel, which effectively applied a memory-augmented TensorFlow model to large-scale time series data on Apache Spark. The entire pipeline, from FlashBase to Spark data frames to TensorFlow, runs on a unified Intel Xeon Scalable processor-based server cluster. With Intel Advanced Vector Extensions 512, or also known as Intel AVX 512, and Intel Deep Learning Boost. Additionally, this leverages Analytics Zoo software to automatically handle in a memory data pipelines and distributed model training and inferencing. In tests conducted by SKT, this AI pipeline outperforms SKT's legacy GPU-based implementation by up to 4 times, and 6 times for deep learning training and inference, which enables SK Telecom to more quickly forecast and detect degradation and abnormal changes in network quality so that SKT can take proactive action to deliver their 5G service quality. Finally, let's turn our focus to performance. A great example of accelerating your AI is HYHY, an AI technology leader in China. HYHY supplied medical institutions with a full-cycle, high-performance, and AI-enabled medical imaging solution capable of successfully diagnosing dozens of diseases, including COVID-19. Using Intel Xeon Scalable processors with Intel Deep Learning Boost and Intel optimized software, including OpenVINO and Intel distribution of Python, HYHY was able to exceed their performance requirements and avoid the need for complex and costly discrete acceleration. In case you're wondering, what are the other Intel technologies that you can leverage when we're talking about 5G and AI. Let me share this to you. So, for flexible AI acceleration, and while Xeon is the most widely used platform for the broad set of AI usages, accelerators are key for larger scale and more dedicated training and inference workloads. If you're running a multitude of workloads where AI is part of the mix, then the CPU with optimized software is placed to start with Xeon from cloud to edge, to core from edge to device, to Atom and lower devices. For high-performance computing, or HPC, deployments where you often have high percentage of data parallel workloads like AI, HPC, media, graphics, Intel Xeon processors with Intel Xe GPU discrete acceleration will likely be your best option from cloud to edge. Finally, for AI thought leaders, where compute is dominated by deep learning training and inference, Intel Movidius VPU's Habana or an FPGA is likely your best option. For edge deep learning inference, use an Intel Movidius VPU. For data center deep learning training inference, use Habana accelerators. For custom deep learning pathfinding and research, use FPGAs. To summarize, we're enabling AI everywhere through simplicity, productivity, and performance. The simplicity to push to start AI solutions, the productivity of optimized tools to build smarter, faster, and the performance to accelerate your AI today through built-in AI hardware acceleration and software optimizations. And finally, we have an unparalleled portfolio of domain-specific accelerators, all built on a common and scalable open standard, one API, for whatever your AI needs may take you. That concludes my presentation. With that, let me leave this message. Intel has pioneered the future of scalable and virtualized compute, bringing its cloud heritage and tech leaderships to 5G. Cloud, networking, edge, and AI. Right now, Intel is working with partners across the globe to develop, test, and develop the 5G technologies that empower AI. With world-class processor, wireless, and edge technologies, Intel is laying the foundation of a new era of human-machine collaboration. And in the same way that Intel is the backbone of the data center, Intel is becoming the fabric that transforms 5G networks. Thank you and good luck. Hope you enjoy your 5G hackathon experience.
Together, Intel's world-changing technology and our partners' solutions enrich the lives of every person on Earth. We are building solutions that combat climate change, accelerate research into advanced medical treatments, and transform our cities and factories to create global impact together like we have never seen before. This is the driving force behind our new partner program, Intel Partner Alliance. This program connects you to the brightest minds across our ecosystem to address our customers' greatest challenges and revolutionize the way we live. We are expanding the partner types, aligning these roles in a single program that facilitates greater collaboration. Two foundational benefits of Intel Partner Alliance include Intel Solutions Marketplace and Intel Partner University. With a focus on solutions, the Intel Solutions Marketplace enables partners to network and collaborate with ecosystem providers, differentiate new product offerings, and showcase them to end customers. Partners have exclusive access to the Intel Partner University, offering industry-leading curriculum, specialized training paths, and personalized training recommendations. Partners can earn new competencies in key advanced technologies and receive badges to enhance their business with pro status. With Intel Partner Alliance, we have launched an enhanced digital experience so partners can access relevant content and information from their personalized dashboard and navigate to different program areas with a single sign-on. Our partners' success is our obsession, and our ambitions have never been bigger. Intel Partner Alliance will help drive partner growth and provide the modern platform required to deliver solutions for the data-centric economy. Join us and the industry's premier ecosystem as we connect, innovate, and grow.
To all the students, professors, and guests, good morning. I am Paolo Realista from Intel, and today I will discuss about Intel Partner Alliance and share with you how you can accelerate innovation with the global ecosystem. For today's agenda, let's talk about first the program introduction and value. So what is Intel Partner Alliance and how does it add value for IoT partners? Second, the program framework. How is Intel Partner Alliance structured and what types of benefits exist? Third, the benefit details. So how can specific Intel Partner Alliance and IoT benefits help achieve key business outcomes? And lastly, getting started. So what resources can IoT partners use to learn more about Intel Partner Alliance and how to get started? So let's start with the program introduction and value. So why Intel Partner Alliance? As you see, the stats here are staggering. Notice we moved from tracking daily data creation in 1999 to the amount created every second. And it's not showing any signs of slowing. Solutions to meet data-centric opportunities are becoming more complex and requires a much greater degree of collaboration. And Intel is in a unique position to bring you the training, the technology, and the matchmaking and expertise you need to deliver innovative solutions to the incredibly complex challenges that your end customers are looking for you to solve. And you see here that the opportunity from data is undeniable, but so are the risks. Companies that don't find ways, to harness data will be left behind. And Intel Partner Alliance will help you as our partners to connect, innovate, and grow with tools to accelerate with your own transformation so that you can succeed in a world driven by data. Intel's previous business has been PC-centric. The ecosystem is straightforward. So from Intel to ODMs or OEMs or distributors to resellers or retailers locally until we reach the end users. And today, Intel has shifted its focus to being a data-centric company. And as the market evolves, this requires a new ecosystem, which involves more stakeholders like component providers, ISVs or independent software vendors, CSPs or cloud service providers, SIs, and service providers to address end user requirements. So, this diverse ecosystem is the reason behind the formulation of Intel Partner Alliance. To talk more about the value of Intel Partner Alliance or IPA, it can be summarized in 3 pillars: connect, innovate, and grow. For connect, you can connect with the industry's premier leaders. We want you to have more opportunities and to expand your base. You can collaborate with a significantly expanded partner and customer base through Intel Marketplace, events, and others. You also get a personalized experience through the partner portal with customized content based on your interests and easy access to benefits. And third, and I believe is one of the best benefits of IPA, is a streamlined collaboration or a single partner program where you can get easier access to other partners across the globe. So, one good example that I can share with you was with one company in the Philippines that was focused on CCTV solutions. So when the pandemic hit, they utilized the Intel Partner Alliance, and we were able to matchmake an ISV that is into AI. So now they offer smart CCTVs for people counting, thermal scanning, crowd monitoring, and even social distancing monitoring. So, this is just one example out of multiple ways that you can collaborate with global partners. Either you need software, hardware, or cloud support. We can matchmake providers according to your requirements. Next pillar is innovate. So we want you to innovate faster and simplify scaling. So as an iPay member, you get full access to a lot of tools provided by Intel. Some of it are Partner University, DevCloud, OpenVINO, and many more. So Intel Partner University offers a forward-thinking curriculum with specialized training paths. So here are the competencies that you can learn in Intel Partner University. We have AI fundamentals, cloud fundamentals, edge AI, and many more. So for DevCloud, this is another development toolkit that we share with partners. So this is basically your virtual sandbox. You can use this tool to simulate your applications and analyze which hardware specs best fit your solutions. So as you see here on the right, this is an analysis on the best CPU to be used for a certain simulation. So it shows good performance on Xeon, but very low on i5. So this tool, this DevCloud can be an alternative for your POC activities. So instead of waiting and buying actual hardware, you can simulate it in DevCloud and save resources for development. The next toolkit is Edge Software Hub. So this is the portal where you can download pre-validated software to learn, develop, and test your solutions for the edge. So you see here, there are multiple use cases you can try for yourself. So let's open the automated checkout, for example. So here you see that Edge Software Hub provides you with reference implementation for faster development and scaling. So here on the right, you see here there are some codes that you can also use, which are pre-validated. Another toolkit is the Intel OpenVINO, where you can optimize models that you currently train. So the amazing thing about OpenVINO is its capability of utilizing not just the GPU, but other XPUs as well for inferencing. So this feature saves you tons of resources and costs if you are developing your solutions. So a good example that I can share with you is would be this company that is into gesture recognition for touchless kiosks. So since the AI inferencing is distributed through OpenVINO, it only required a Core i5 CPU with minimum GPU. And it doesn't need GPUs worth thousands for the AI solution to run. As you see here, OpenVINO is compatible with multiple platforms like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and many others. OpenVINO also has a repository called Open Model Zoo. So that includes free optimized deep learning models and set of demos to expedite development of high performance deep learning inference applications. All right, so this brings me to the last pillar of the value of IPA, which is grow. So through IPA, you can grow your business and get to market sooner with global marketplace and promotional support. Of course, we want you to grow your sales through the solutions marketplace, so I'll discuss more on this later. We want you to expand reach and sale through the financial incentives you get from Intel, through the Marketing Development Fund or MDF. So more on that later. And lastly, grow marketing reach through the Partner Marketing Studio, where you can get collaterals and promotional assets to help you drive your marketing. Okay, so to understand Intel Partner Alliance further, let us talk about the program framework. So as you see here, the key program elements include the tier, where there are 3 tiers in this membership. So there's member, gold, and titanium. So most Philippine partners that we have are currently on the member tier, but huge companies like Dell, Asus, Lenovo, HP, they are on the titanium level or gold level. But as a start, I recommend that most Philippine partners begin with member first. And second, key element on this program is the role. So this is partner centric. So it really depends on what role we play in this ecosystem. And for the select benefits and specialty, I won't be focusing on this right now, but later on, as we move on in this partnership with Intel, we can discuss that offline. And lastly, the communities or the Intel IoT Solutions Community. So more on this later. All right. So for the partner roles, you see here, there are a lot of roles that we can play. Either we do service integrator, solutions provider, OEM, ODM, CSPs, ISVs. So these are just the descriptions on which specific role we can play in this alliance. So later on, upon your registration, you can just look up into this and then to define what role we can play in this ecosystem. All right, so for the IoT Solutions Community, with over 1,000 IoT leaders and more than 4,000 solutions, this is basically the best community that you can get for IoT. So it's easier to collaborate, to build, to promote, and to discover more solutions that you can integrate with your own solutions. Okay, so for the benefit details, I mentioned earlier that there are 3 tiers in IPA, so the member, gold, and titanium. But I want you to just focus on the member tier because as a member, there's not much revenue requirement for you to be a part of this alliance. However, for gold and titanium, it's ranging around $3 million to almost $25 million. So member is a good start. However, later on, as we go deeper in this alliance, if we are able to develop an Intel-based technology that we can publish in the IoT market-ready solution, we can be considered as a gold member at once. So more on that, later on, if you want offline discussions, we can talk more about that. But as a start, we can be a part of Intel Partner Alliance as a member first. Okay. So here are the foundational benefits by tier. So let's focus again on just the member tier. So you get a 48-hour SLA for customer support. You get access to Intel Solutions Marketplace, the Intel Partner University as well. You have your personalized program website and the marketing studio. And of course, there are some other benefits that you get on different roles. So we can discuss those once you have considered which role you play in this ecosystem. All right, so this is one of the most exciting benefits that you get as a partner. So earlier we talked about the financial incentives, and the Market Development Funds, or MDF, it's designed to help extend your marketing investments to amplify Intel-based IoT products. So below are the following eligible activities that we can support. So you see here, there's content assets. So if you want to do collaterals, white papers, or web pages, sites, or videos, we can support those. For outreach, there's ads, either print or digital, social media, EDM, or telemarketing, we can support those. Solution demos as well. So if your customers are keen to having a POC first, we can support that as well. So for demos, demo unit, or demo unit pool, system seed units, proof of concept, we can fund those as well. And of course, events. So seminars, roadshows, or workshops, or online webinars currently, we can support those, or trade shows as well. We can support those activities. So these are just examples of activities that we can support. However, if you have something unique that you want to present to us, then we can have that reviewed, and we can also consider those. All right, so this is the Intel Solutions Marketplace, which is a business-to-business online platform to enable you to network and collaborate with the industry's premier providers. And you can differentiate your offerings and showcase them, your solutions as well. So you can search this online. It's marketplace.intel.com, and you can see tons of offerings there. And later on, when you are a member of Intel Partner Alliance, you can also have a chance to promote your products here as well. So this is a public website where your solutions can be accessed. Okay, so here are some of the use cases that you can see in the marketplace. So we call them the market-ready solutions, or what we call solutions that are readily available for the market. So you see here, there's connected retail, building management, energy monitoring, connected worker, connected factory, health and wellness, connected transpo, predictive maintenance, logistics and asset management, inventory management, visual displays, video monitoring, outdoor lighting, and smart cities. These are just some of the examples out there, but there's definitely more. So you can search that out. Just go to marketplace.intel.com. All right, so lastly, let's talk about how to get started. So the registration is pretty much very easy. You can just go straight to intel.com/partner-alliance, enter your info like email, contact number, your country as well. And if you were asked for a point person in your country, please put my name, Paolo Realista, so that I can properly assess you as well. All right, so after you're into IPA, you can join the Intel IoT Solutions Community, and you can get in touch with a lot of partners all over the globe. And you can also access your benefits there. So, your select benefits, lead management, solutions marketplace, marketing points, and so on. This ends my presentation. If you have any questions, please drop a message. Lastly, everyone is welcome in Intel Partner Alliance. We strongly support startups to accelerate business, so please feel free to reach out to me for future engagements. Thank you and have a good day.